Yo, what is going on, traders? Today is going to be a great video because I am going to highlight the PFK Alpha Expert Advisor. It's a trading robot for MT5 that has been designed to assist you in trading prop firm challenges. Now, the biggest issue with using any automated trading with prop firms is that if someone else is using the same robot as you, you will get flagged for group trading and then instantly be banned. So the other problem is most robots won't trade within all of the extensive rules that prop firms put on their traders. But the PFK Alpha EA solves that problem by allowing you to use your own unique entry model while still following the fundamental principles of the PFK Alpha strategy. And I'll show you how that works later on in this video. It also follows all the rules that every prop firm puts on traders in regards to trading style and risk management. So this expert advisor here is currently available to all my Discord VIP members. But if you want to try it for free for 7 days, you can do that as well. See if it's a good fit for you before you pay any money. So it's completely risk-free. And if you've never used an EA before, you don't have to worry about it because we have a lot of help on setup and usage in our Discord for all our VIP members. And we also have other members that will easily help you if you have any questions. And there's a lot of other cool features in the Discord like live trading, swing trade setups, forex analysis. So if you're looking to up your prop firm trading game, potentially increase your chances to get funded, I will leave the links to everything in the description of this video. So let's talk. So I'll show you what we're going to talk about here in this video real quick. We're just going to look at the fundamental strategy of the PFK Alpha that this robot follows. And then we are going to look at the PFK Alpha Expert Advisor entry settings. And then we'll look at the risk settings that make this thing function so well in prop firm challenges using my risk models especially. And then we'll take a look at the VIP dashboard for input settings, which is a whole bunch of preset settings that you'll be able to download and use so your own model is unique to anyone else. And then how it all works together for prop firm trading. Okay, so the very first thing, let's look at this fundamental strategy of the PFK Alpha. Now, it follows two principles. It looks at the higher time frame and it comes up with the bias. So in this case, the higher time frame is 1 hour, but it can be any time frame in the settings you want. So as we can see, we have two EMAs here, the 9 and the 20. Also, the EMAs can be adjusted. And we can see we clearly have a bullish bias here because the 9 is above the 20. Now it would be bearish if it was the opposite, right? So in these market conditions, we're only going to be looking to go long on our lower time frame entry setting. So we'll go down to the lower time frame entry. And this is the entry model that the PFK Alpha EA uses. It'll look at the higher time frame and then it will look at the lower time frame for an entry. And basically all it looks for is it looks for a cross, a bullish cross on the EMA lines here to go long like this. Okay, so there's a cross there, the bot's going to go long, and this is just the fundamental principles that the PFK Alpha follows. Higher time frame bias, lower time frame entry with that bias at a nice discounted entry. And the reason why it's discounted is because there was previously bearish sell-off causing the EMAs to be bearish, and then a bullish crossover signaling a reversal to go along with that higher time frame momentum. So very simple principles, but it can be really customized and adjusted using the EMAs and other entry model filters that I'll show you in a minute here. Okay, so that's just the basics of the PFK Alpha entry model. Now let's go over to MT5 and we'll look at the PFK Alpha EA settings. So I'll go to my MT5 here. And as you can see, it's currently on my chart. It's not running right now. This is the trading table because we are outside of trading hours. But there's a lot of useful information here that you will see when you set up your bot. And if you don't know how to set it up, once again, we have that information in a nice tutorial guide here. Very, very simple. I recommend it's a game that you at least dabble in a little bit because it can be very useful even with just risk management and allowing an EA to manage your trade so you don't micromanage everything and get emotional. It can really help. So we'll pull up the PFK Alpha EA. As you can see, it's right here on the chart. And I will go to properties. And I'm going to pull up the settings here. Now you can see right here, make this a little bit bigger, the higher time frame bias EMA. Now that's the 1 hour I showed you. You can set it to anything you want here, right? I have it set to the 1 hour, and then you have the two EMAs that determine. So if the 9 is above the 20, that's going to signal bullish. It's going to be looking for longs, and if it's below the 20, that will be bearish. It will be looking for shorts. Okay, and then the EMA, lower time frame EMA entry here, it's set to 5 minutes, and 9 and 20, but you can customize that adjustment as well. And the only other filters we have for entry model here is we have look back candles, and that's just another way to try to filter out ranging market conditions. So if we have these situations where the EA doesn't do so well when it's chopping back and forth, it can potentially avoid to take trades if it's crisscrossing too much over a specific period of time. We have this on the 5 minute, and we have options on the 1 hour as well. Okay, so let's go back to the settings here, and we have another one called the VWAP filter. Now this one really helps, especially during New York session, where it won't take a trade to go long unless price is above the daily VWAP, and vice versa. It won't go short if price isn't below the daily VWAP. And we've also added this filter where it will actually, if there's a trigger that a trade might be valid, it will wait 5 candles to see if that candle closes above or below the VWAP in order to go long or short. So it's just another way to try out ideal market conditions to enter a trade rather than just trading off of an EMA crossover, which can be a little bit aggressive, right? We won't look at this yet. This is risk settings. The only other entry model settings we have on here, so we've added an RSI filter. So you can always test that out, and we like to optimize with it to see if we can avoid losing trades by avoiding specific RSI levels on different time frames. And then the ADX filter is very, very useful as well. The ADX filters out ranging market conditions on higher time frames. So if the ADX is like usually like 15 or so, I will actually show you. So if we go do ADX here, average directional index, it comes up as this like little red line here. Now if we zoom way out, we can see it's like very wavy. So if it's around 14 to 10, that means price action is in a really tight range. And the higher the number here, the stronger the price is trending. As you can see, like right here, see how it spikes up here? You can see on the 1 hour chart, it was trending really hard bearishly. So it's just a way to determine the strength of the trend. And because we're looking to trade with momentum, we're looking to trade with trends, ADX can be very useful when filtering out not so ideal market conditions. Okay, so that is basically the entry model settings for the PFK Alpha. We might add more in the future. We're always working on it, trying to make it better. But yeah, that's the basic breakdown. Now let's look at the risk settings here that make this thing so useful. The risk settings are the most powerful part of the EA because you can literally take trade after trade with the most ideal, pristine risk settings for your trade setup, and it will play out the same every single time, which is OP when it comes to consistency in your prop firm challenge trading. Now, the first thing that we have here is we have the TP and stop loss. Okay, what we use for this is the 1 hour ATR. That's what I recommend using. You can set it to anything you want, but I recommend 1 hour because it really allows you to stay within a nice day trading range for your trades. So we have this set to, let's say if that's set to 1, it's going to use whatever the 1 hour ATR is for the asset. And you can trade this EA on any asset you want. And this is why, because you'll adapt your stop loss to any asset available. So if you wanted to go 1 to 2, this is going to be 1 to 2 risk to reward. And you can set it just like that. Now, the next thing we have here is risk per trade. I could set this to 1.5%, and it'll automatically detect the balance of your account. And every single trade, it will risk 1.5% every trade that this EA takes for you. Okay. And we also have a maximum lot size that you can set. So like for Blueberry Funded on gold, I know I'm not allowed to go over 2 lots on gold, so I would set that to 2. And then you don't have to worry about breaching maximum allowed lot size. So whatever challenge you're taking, just check the lot sizes you're allowed to use for whatever asset you're trading, and then you can hard set it in there just to be safe if you're trading, like especially if you're trading the higher 100k 200k accounts. Here we can set maximum daily loss. So let's say I have a 100k account and my maximum daily loss is $4,000. I can hard set this to 3,500, and this robot will just completely shut down if you hit that maximum 3,500 loss for the day. So you don't have to worry about accidentally breaching your daily loss on the account, which is very powerful, because I can't tell you how many times I accidentally, due to just slippage alone, hit that daily overall loss. And there's nothing worse than breaching account when you still have drawdown left on there. We've added maximum profit as well, just for people that don't want to make too much profit in a day, just to stay under the radar for these prop firms that will flag you if you make all your profit in one day. They'll say you're gambling, you're trading risky. So I usually like to set that to like at least 5,000 on a 100k account. Now, obviously, if you have a 10k account, that'll be $350 and $500, not 3,500 and 5,000. We've also added a maximum trades per day. I like to set this to like 3, for example, because then I'll take the 3 trades. They'll play out. I'm not over trading for the day. Another thing, prop firms don't like to see like 10 trades in a day. So if I'm going win loss, they're going to flag me for like reverse trading or excessive trading, whatever. So if I cap that out at 3 trades per day, I can kind of rest easy, knowing that I'm not going to be trading too many times when this thing's running on autopilot. Max open positions, I always recommend this set to 1. Now, if you really wanted to, you could set this to like 2. Okay, and then you could lower your risk to like 0.75 or something like that, just to kind of diversify your positions. I don't like doing it because prop firms will usually flag you if you add to a losing position, right? So they'll call that martingale. So I always just use 1 trade open per day, and I just risk my 1.5% on that. We have a break-even feature as well. It follows the ATR. So let's say my stop loss ATR or my take profit is 2 ATR. Well, if I wanted to set my stop loss to break even when I'm halfway into the profit, I would set this to 1. So I'm using that 1 hour ATR. So price pumps up halfway in my profit. Stop loss is automatically adjusted. And the buffer here is just, it's going to set the break even price 0.1 by next to your stop loss, just so the trade, if it does hit break even, it will actually close a little bit in the profit, so it looks like a win instead of a loss, which is nice. Trading windows, so we have a full time frame window thing we can trade within. If you only we have a guide on this, but like hour 1 is market open. Okay, so hour 1 is when the market resets at 5 p.m. Eastern. That would be hour 0. 6 p.m. Eastern when it opens, that's hour 1. Okay, and if you only wanted to trade New York session opens for forex at hour 15. So you'd set that to hour 15, and you can always backtest. And we have settings for different start times as well. If you want to just trade specific sessions, you can do that. Let's see. The next one we have is really useful. So we have this news filter. Okay, so news is such a big problem with prop firms, and you don't want to be like having to manually close your trades anytime red folder news comes, especially if you're trading like EURGBP, right? So for EURGBP, I'm going to filter out the USD news, the EUR news, and the GBP news. Okay, any red folder news from Forex Factory, it pulls data from, and it will close the trade. And you can set this to like 10 minutes. If you want to close the trade 10 minutes before high impact news, it won't open a trade until 10 minutes after. So this is the buffer window. So if I set this to 25 minutes, it's going to close all my trades, any trade open 25 minutes before high impact news, and it won't open any trade until 25 minutes after. So we have this nice buffer window where we're not trading news at all, trust me guys, don't bother trading news. And the fact that this is on autopilot saves people potentially so many issues. Okay, so this is a great one to use. I always recommend you use it, and you just have to make sure the proper symbols are loaded with whatever strategy you're running. Okay, so that's basically the risk settings for the PFK Alpha EA. And let's take a look here at what is next on the list. So we're going to go look at the VIP dashboard for input settings. Now, this is something we designed for our members, and it's really nice because I'll show you why. So this is, members, this is where you would download the actual robot and then install it onto your MT5. And then we have this dashboard here where we have all the different input settings. Now, these are settings that I've kind of made myself, where I've back tested all these various random settings, different time periods, like 3 month back test, 1 year back test, 5 year back test. We do, we'll add like a 2 year back test eventually. The reason why like 3 month back test is more for recent market conditions. The trading is more optimized for recent market conditions, and the 1 year is more optimized for a full market 12-month cycle, so it's a bit more robust, right? So we can see here, I pull all the data here. This one is called, for example, I can filter it too. I can go to, let's say I want to trade EURUSD, right? And there's a lot of information on here. So this is EURUSD for 1 year. We have Jordan here. We can see there's some nice details. It says the higher time frame bias and lower time frame entry. This one follows the 15-minute higher time frame, and the entry bias is the 3-minute time frame, which is really nice. The risk to reward is 1 to 3, and the trading time starts London session, and break evens enabled. It averages about 0.8 trades a day, so it's less aggressive. As you can see, Joshua down here has an average of 2 trades per day at a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay. We could look at gold, for example. Let's say we want to look at gold for 3 month, and we can see just in here, we have the backtest results right here for 3 months. So you can see it's very aggressive, almost 3 trades per day, and it has a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and it trades all day from hour 1 to 23. So if you wanted this, all you would do is download the set file, just like that. You would go here, and then you would just load it up right here. You just load it, you press load, and then you load that set file. And all of the input settings will automatically populate, and it will start trading those specific backtest settings. Now, I recommend that you make slight adjustments on like the news trading window and your risk and stuff like that. I would make some slight adjustments just so you're diversified even more with somebody else that might be trading that input as well. But on the back end of this robot, we have randomization settings. So your trade will randomly enter within a 2-minute window, and it will also randomly adjust your lot sizing. So there's some randomization on the back end to where you're not going to have the exact same timestamp as another trader that might so happen to be using the same input setting on the same prop firm, which is already pretty unlikely, right? So that's that there. And then another thing you can do, I'll show you real quick, is you can quickly just backtest this yourself and optimize your own strategy. Okay, so when you go to the settings here, you can click on fast base algorithm, and then I like this option here. But let's say I want to test XAU USD on a 1-year time window, September 2024 to September 2025. And then I use this 1-minute OHLC modeling here. And I can run that optimization, and then I get a bunch of results here that look like this. I can organize it by profit. So look at all the profit that these various settings it found based off of me going to the inputs. And I'm just optimizing the EMAs. So I can choose the 1 hour for the higher time frame bias, the 5-minute for the lower time frame bias, but I can select a range of EMAs where it can run a whole bunch of optimization backtest, different combinations of EMAs to see, hey, is there anything that might be doing well over the last 12-month cycle in terms of different EMAs. And we can also optimize if the VWAP is true or false. We can optimize all these different entry model settings to see what type of potential inputs that will work for gold over the last 12 months. And then you have your own unique input settings, completely unique strategy just to yourself, just by doing this. So we can look at optimization results and we can see, you know, hey, this one on the top here, if I double click that, let's see what that looks like. It'll automatically populate the settings. We can look at the graph. That's the equity curve for it. And you can go back here. You can look at some results here to see, you know, a bunch of cool data from those specific settings. And if you like all that, you can just simply right click, save those settings to yourself, and then go back to the settings on the PFK Alpha right here, and then just load those up just like that. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. That's what I really like to do. And the reason why it works so well together with prop firm trading is because you can really customize your own strategy, right? And the risk management in the EA is by far the most powerful thing, because it really increases the probability when you have consistent risk in your trading with these prop firms. Most people fail prop firms because they are all over the place with their risk. They're taking random trades, risking 2% on one trade, 1% on another trade. Their risk to rewards are all over the place, and they close their trades early when price is chopping in the profit. They'll extend their stop loss, so they take bigger and bigger losses. When you use an EA on your MT5, you don't have to do any of that. You can literally just let it run, and it's either going to pass or fail the phase of the challenge on its own. And you've already set up the settings, you've already back tested your entry model, and you just let it go. And the market's going to do whatever it does. You can't control it, but at least you know you're not going to sabotage yourself. So that's the beautiful thing about EA trading. Once again, if you're interested, we have a free 7-day trial. I'll leave the link in the description. And there's a whole bunch of just unique features in this Discord that you won't find anywhere else. And we're also working on an open range breakout EA for all our members as well. So it's definitely a place that you want to be long term. You know, if you're really into prop firm trading and you're looking to make extra income like that. So hope that video was helpful, guys. I showed you everything that I was going to show you, and I will see you in the next video. All right, peace.